Violence at Western facility. Lessons for the Indian labor laws need to be learned from this violence at Western facility. Lessons for India's labor laws. The opening of Western production facility in Karnataka with manufactures various components for global technology majors such as Apple was considered to be a major thrust to make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat. However, the recent large-scale violence and the labor unrest in its production facility has affected the investor sentiment and thus India's ability to attract global MNCs from China. It has also highlighted as to how the inequitable labor-capital relations could lead to exploitative labor practices. In this regard, there is a need to provide sufficient safeguards for working class in the newly introduced labor codes. The labor codes must strike a right balance between the need to attract foreign capital and the need to protect the rights of the working class. So, what factors led to the industrial unrest in the Western's production facility? See, the first thing is high share of contractual workers. The Western company employed nearly around 1,300 of regular workers and nearly 8,500 contract workers. These contract workers were hired through an intermediary contractor and are not a payrolls of the company. Under such arrangement, the contractor is responsible for the payment of the wages, and these workers are not entitled to social security benefits such as insurance, not entitled to social security benefits such as insurance, pay provident fund, etc. The recent incident was attributed to non-payment of wages for the overtime work as well as delays in due to the non-payment of wages for the overtime work non-payment of wages for the overtime work as well as a delay in the payment of wages, increasing the number of working hours from 8 to 12 hours, 8 hours to 12 hours without any additional compensation, working hours problem, and from 8 to 12 hours and without any additional compensation to the workers, and also the payment in the overtime, and also no payment and delay in the payment of wages, and absence of labor unions to address the grievances of the workers, absence of labor unions. So these problems are main for the violence in the violence in the Western facility in the Karnataka. What has been the response so far? Western has taken a number of measures to address the industrial unrest. It has rendered an apology to the workers, removed its vice president, and also has promised to initiate the corrective measures to address the grievances of the workers. On the other hand, Apple company has decided not to give the additional orders to the Westerns until the Apple company has decided not to give additional orders to Western until it addresses the grievances of the workers. It has also come out with a code of conduct to be followed by all the code of conduct to be followed by all its suppliers to follow the labor rules and regulations. Understanding of the core problem. What is the core problem involved in it? The core problem of the recent industrial unrest has been attributed to the high share of contractual employees, that is, high share of contractual employees in the Western's production unit. Western's claims that it had already deposited the money in the account of the contractor staffing firms, and hence it was the failure of the contractor. It was the failure, so deposited in the money in the account of the contractor, that is staffing firms. Hence, it was failure on the part of the staffing firms or the contractor in not paying the wages to the workers. This clearly shows the lack of coordination between the employers and the staffing firms in the payment of the wages and ensuring the safety and health of the employees. So, moreover, it is clear case of abdication of responsibility by both employers and staffing firms. Over a period of time, the share of contractual workers in registered manufacturing in contractual workers in registered manufacturing has increased to 36% in 2018. That is, in manufacturing registered manufacturing sector, the contractual workers are nearly 36% in 2018. Hence, the recent incident at Western Production Unit is just a tip of the iceberg. Lack of sufficient safeguards for the contract workers could worsen the industrial relations even further. So if you look at the who are the fixed term employees and permanent employees and contract labor, if you look at the fixed term employees, the employment. If you look at the fixed term employees and permanent employees and contract labor, fixed term employees. This type of employment, the employment under written contract is there for fixed term employee, and no contractor or agency is involved on the payroll of the establishment. Stipulated fixed term, that is only for a fixed term directed by the employer, and employment lapses on the completion of the term unless renewed. and also the nature of work is not specified, and also in the fixed term employees, all the benefits that are given to the permanent employee are provided in the fixed term employees, and employment directly under the written contract, and also on the payrolls and establishment and so on. Employment are guaranteed on permanent basis. Notice must be given for the termination of employment and hide for routine work. And coming to the contract labor, engaged in establishments through a contract or agency, that is contractor is needed in the contract labor and not on the payroll or establishment. Based on a terms negotiated with the contractor, employment may be prohibited in certain cases. Example, if similar work is carried out by the regular workman. So, how to address this problem? The Industrial Relations Code 2020 has introduced the concept of fixed term employment. Fixed term employment refers to workers employed for a fixed duration based on a contract signed between the worker and the employer. Based between the worker and the employer, and not the intermediate, and no intermediates are there. This is called fixed term employment. Benefits of a fixed term employment allow employers their flexibility to hire the workers for a fixed duration, and allows employers the flexibility to hire the workers for a fixed duration and for work that may not be permanent in nature. That is, it allows the employers the flexibility to hire the workers for a fixed duration and for the work that may not be permanent in nature. Fixed term contracts are not permanent in nature, not be in a permanent in nature. So that are the benefits of fixed term employment for the employers. And fixed term contracts are negotiated directly between the employer and the employee and reduce a role of middlemen such as agency or a contractor. Benefit the worker, since the code entitles fixed term employees to get same benefits and work conditions of work are available to the permanent employees. So improve conditions of temporary workers in comparison to the contract workers who may not be provided with such benefits. So why are the firms continuing to hire contract workers instead of fixed term employees? The answer the answer lies is ideally to encourage a shift away from contractual workers to fixed term employees. The government should have completely prohibited the use of contract labor in core activities, that is those activities for which the establishment is set up, and includes any activity which is essential or necessary to core activity. So uh, the government should have completely prohibited the use of contract labor in the core activities. That is, those activities. What are core activities? Those activities which the establishment is set up and includes any activity which is essential or necessary to the core activity. However, in the labor code on occupational safety and health, on the labor code on occupational safety and health has allowed for the use of contract workers in core activities under certain conditions, such as sudden increase in the volume of work in a core activity which needs to be accomplished in a specific time. Such a provision encourages the use of contract workers and undermines the initiative of introducing the fixed term employment. So the cost of hiring contract workers continues to remain lower than the cost of hiring the fixed term employees. This is so because the fixed term employees need to be provided with the benefits such as medical insurance, pension, provident fund, and so on. So, reduced compliance cost for hiring contract workers, since it is staffing companies that are required to incur monitoring and litigation cost. Rapid growth of staffing companies. So, addressing the constraints faced by the fixed term employees, Industrial Relations Code does not specify a minimum or maximum tenure. The Industrial Relations Code does not specify a minimum or maximum tenure for hiring a fixed term employees. It does not specify the number of times the contract can be renewed. Also, it does not restrict the type of work in which the fixed term employers may be hired. The absence of such safeguards can in fact lead to erosion of permanent jobs. How this could be improved upon? So, Second National Commission on Labor had recommended that no worker should be kept continuously as a casual or temporary worker against a permanent job for more than 2 years. See, it should not be kept for more than 2 years. That is, 2 years has been the maximum provided by the Second National Commission on Labour 2002. The International Labour Organization (ILO), has highlighted that several countries restrict the use of fixed-term contracts by limiting the renewal of employment contracts. Example, in Vietnam, Brazil, and China allows two successive fixed-term contracts. Limiting the duration of a contract, example, Philippines limit up to a year, or limiting the proportion of the fixed-term workers in the overall workforce is needed. So these recommendations of the Second National Commission on the Labour and the ILO need to be incorporated. So Second National Commission tells that 2 years, maximum 2 years, because these limit the permanent jobs. So these limit the permanent job. So no worker should be kept continuously for a casual or temporary worker against a permanent job for more than 2 years. But what ILO will tell is, and several countries restrict the use of fixed term contracts by limiting renewal of employment contracts, and also by limiting the duration of the contract, and also the limiting the proportion of the fixed term contracts. So these three are told by the ILO, that is limiting renewal, limiting the duration, and also limiting the proportion. So these recommendations of the Second National Commission on the Labour and ILO needs to be incorporated.